One of the most dangerous things in a man is when he has enemies within. Yeah. One of the most dangerous things in man is when he has enemies, especially enemies within. Enemies that when you look at them, you think they are family members, but in another way, they are not family members but enemies. And these enemies are enemies within. Hello, everyone, and welcome to D and Z TV, the one stop place for ultimate information that is designed for your wonderful viewing pleasure. So, if you've not subscribed to our channel, I urge you right now to click on the subscription button, comment, like, and share this video. So, it is no more news that a lot has been happening at the palace of the Oni of Ife. But the biggest challenge right now that everybody seems to be talking about is the fact that there are a lot of enemies within at the palace of the Oni of Ife. Enemies within who, under normal circumstances, are supposed to be working as one, trying to see that the family is all thinking alike. But instead of them working as one, they are all rather fighting each other. They are all rather fighting and trying to make sure that anarchy continues to unravel in the palace of the Oni of Ife. This is actually a very serious issue because if all these women are acting as one, if all these women have the same heart to behave as one and think as one, there is no need for them to only to be trying always to protect Prince Tade from the hands of the wicked people. These wicked people have all been trying to see that they make Naomi to cry. They've always been trying to make sure that acrimony thrives every time in the palace. But all in all, Naomi has actually always kept her cool, and God, in His infinite mercy and goodness, has always protected and kept her from the hands of the devil. All the women, all put together, are all behaving as serpentine creatures, creatures that will only come with one thing in mind, which is to harm the poor prince. Now, you know that for a lot of times, they've tried several times to get at um, uh, Queen Naomi. Now, when they try to get Queen Naomi and it doesn't work, the next point of call is always to try to see that they get at the young boy, which is actually something a lot of people cannot really comprehend. That what did this little boy do to them that they will constantly strive and try to make the boy feel very, very bad? The truth of the matter is that no matter how they strive, no matter how they try, no matter how they put pressure, God will always vindicate and keep the poor boy from harm. In times past, they have fought, they have tried, they have labeled, they have done a lot of things just to see that Prince Tade does not fulfill purpose and destiny. But God has always still been able to keep him and not to allow any harm come to him. Just as what the Bible said, that he who keeps his hand clean will definitely live above principalities, above rulers of darkness, above enemies both within and without. If you check very well now, you now realize that a lot of enemies are always prowling around the whole place, putting effort to see that the boy does not fulfill divine purpose and destiny. But all in all, God has still been faithful. That is why in this year that we've entered, one of your biggest prayer points is that, oh God, take me away from the hands of the enemies within. Because when people are enemies within, it's those people who are actually very, very, once they are very close to you, once they are close to you, once they have you at heart, all they are going to do is going to be to look for means and ways to make sure that they harm you. But it does not matter how much they try to harm you, God will always send a protective covering around you. God has always protected his children. That is why no weapon of the enemy formed against children of God will prosper. They will come in one way, but guess what? God will pursue them in many ways. This year is a year of divine manifestation. This year is a year of divine favor. This year, Naomi has suffered everything she needed to suffer last year. It is right now a brand new year. A year for Naomi to get divine wisdom. A year for Naomi to hear from God directly. One of the best things everybody should pray for is, God, help me to hear from you. Once God helps you to hear from him, that is the best gift you can ever have. Once you hear from God divinely, is the best gift anybody should ask for. It does not matter how much we thrive. It does not matter how much we strive. It does not matter all the pressure we put in to see that things work out well. One thing is sure, one thing is certain. God is going to uplift his children from any manipulation that the enemy has divinely put and divinely orchestrated. It is a time for a new start. It is a time for a new beginning. It is a time for people to see things working perfectly for the good of them that believe in God. Naomi has always held God strong. Those who hold God strong will never be disappointed. It does not matter how many of them gang up. One thing is certain, one thing is sure. The righteous will always live above principalities, above powers, above rulers of darkness in high and low places. Imagine somebody, do you know that before now, once, even if you're in a polygamous home, if you leave your child in the hands of your mates, that child will be well cared for. Nothing evil is going to do that child. But right now, people are divinely fighting what we cannot even fathom, all because of power tussle. Now, all of this power tussle, where is it going to lead us to? Do we feel that God will not continue to protect and keep his own? God will definitely protect and keep his own. And all those who consistently fight and try to see that God's power does not make sense will always come back to lick their wounds. And that is because God's will cannot take you where his love cannot sustain you. It does not matter how much the will of God is happening in your life. One thing is certain, one thing is sure: you are protected.